Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to deep dive into how the syntax in Python basically works. So today is going to be a session which is more dedicated towards how to understand the syntax, how to write the syntax, how indentation works and how we put comment in our code. So this is going to be introductory session from the coding perspective and why you should learn it, because if you want to write error free Python code going forward, these are the some silly mistakes which everybody does. So that's the target for today, to make sure that we are not confused going forward in any of these steps. So let's get started quickly. Go through each of these concepts one by one, and then I am going to implement the actual code also in VS Code editor for all of you. Okay, so let's get started. So number one, obviously, when we talk about any programming language, the first thing comes to your mind is what is a syntax, what is structure. So syntax and structure, what is that? Basically how to write the code and what exactly the algorithm which you need to follow when you are defining your code. Because what is code? Code is nothing, it's an instruction. Code is an instruction which you are giving to your system. So that system is accepting the input in a way. There is a defined way for that. So that way, that is called structure and syntax of that programming language. So the couple of pointer you should know that Python is designed for simplicity and emphasizing the readability. Reason being because Python is much more like plain English, so that you will see in a while. And the second pointer is Python uses English like keywords, make it beginner friendly. So if you're not from a technical background, if you're not from a programming background, Python is a language which will make you feel much more easy on the learning curve perspective. That is for sure. Statements in Python are typically write one per line without any semicolon. So in many of the language, semicolon is considered as a separator of two line, but here that is not the case. The blank space, you'll just shift, you'll basically put the enter button and then that's all. You don't have to put any semicolon or anything. Okay, now let's start writing some code. This is my VS Code which we have installed in the previous. Now what you need to do here, guys, just open a new file and let's name it test.py. Just enter it and you have to give a location. Let's say I give my desktop itself, and on the desktop I would encourage you to create a folder. So that's what I am doing. Just make a new folder where you'll keep all your codes, and let's keep it Python 2025. So there is a similar folder do exist, but I'll do the shift. Reason being because this will override this. So I have this already. This is a session 1 notes and the file is test.py, which I'm saving now here. So if you guys notice, the name of the file itself is .py. So this is a Python file. That's how your VS Code will understand that Rajat or you are going to basically write a Python code here. So if you see in the notes, if I go back here, so this is a simple code. Okay. If I can copy this or I can type it for you, both the ways are fine. Okay. So this note also I will attach so you can take it from there. So let's say, let's go there and I assign, let's say, x equal to Rajat. Okay. So basically what you are doing, you are just assigning one variable. X is a variable and the value of x is Rajat. Similarly, if you see here, the same thing is happening. I am giving name, but that's okay. You can type name or x or y, anything, any variable is fine. Now I'm giving a print command and hello is something I'm writing in the print command. So if you see, let's go back there. What you need to do is just shift, basically enter, press enter, I mean to say, and print. Print is basically to tell Python that you are trying to print something, and you will print what? What exactly you will print? See, if you see here, so hello is a keyword which is not part of name, right? And name you are not giving in double quotes. So that's something you need to remember. That is a thing you have to learn. So you just write hello and welcome here, and then you give space and in comma you write x. So basically what you are doing, you are giving the VS Code a command that x equal to Rajat. So wherever you will call x, Rajat will be printed. And in addition to that, this is the print syntax, and double quotes are not required here. If you see, I'm just passing the value. If you give double quotes, let's say if you put it like this, it will not be able to identify that this is the same x. So to resolve a variable, you need to give it independently. So this is going to be technically your first Python code. And how we'll run this? So there are several ways. So you can do this. I will allow. So Python 3 require the iKernel package. I will do install. So you should also do installation. Okay. This is quickly installing. Sometime there are Python packages which are missing in your VS Code. Okay. So the package which are needed. So the system automatically is saying that this is a Python package I need. So just click on the installation button. Now this will quickly take hardly 2 minutes. So guys, you will notice as soon as the package installation is done, your code is also executed. Okay. So this is the basically output which it is printing. And if I, let's say, write something else, let's say welcome, hello and welcome to Python world. So now right click here, run to Python, run in terminal. Now you see how the output will change. See, this was the first time the output came here interactive because shell was not there. Now I'll close that. So you see the terminal is actually down. So every time you will run your code, your output will appear here in VS Code by default. But obviously that you can change. Okay. So this is the first pointer about the syntax and everything. Now let's go back to the notes. And what is indentation? Let's discuss about it. Although there are some other pointer also. Okay. So mandatory things before going to indentation, Python script have a .py file extension. No need to explicitly main function or basic scripting, which are like C, C++. You don't have to do that. Now similarly, case sensitive variable and variable name, both are different in terms. If you see, this is a small v, this is a capital V. So Python will consider both of them differently. Now let's go back to the indentation thing. What is indentation? Indentation is mandatory in Python to make your code systematic. In many programming language, if you see, these are the braces which they use for indentation. Now indentation is basically right spacing. So here if you see the code, here is the code. So correct indentation will go like this. Let's say if or else, we take the example of if condition. So after if there is a true, and if you see this space, this space which is here. So these are by default 4 spaces. Okay. Every enter when you hit after that, so indentation will take 4 spaces by default, and then it is showing the output of this if condition, that if this is true, this condition will print. And again if you enter, you can see this if is starting with this. So again there is an indentation thing. Okay. And there is a one more condition, if 10 is greater than 5, which is a true condition. So obviously this will print. So this will go to this line. Now if you see, there are 4 spaces, again 4 spaces. So 8 spaces. That is indentation. This is very clear and crisp, I would say, compared to other programming language, because if you see these kind of braces, they are very confusing at the moment. Okay. Sometimes they are really confusing. Now some mandatory detail before I write this code. Okay. Recommended indentation is 4 spaces. That is by default. If you want to increase, you can do that. Do not mix tab and spaces. Use a code like editor like VS Code and PyCharm, most popular one. We are using VS Code. Don't worry on that. Okay. Now one more thing, the wrong syntax also I have mentioned. So this you will get as a note. You can download this whole sheet from my GitHub, which there is a link in the description box. If you see, after if you are not giving indentation, you write after if you are writing print. This is not a right way. So this code will hit error. Now let's quickly write this code. If I give a condition, if let's say true, so this is an indentation mark. You will give this colon and then enter. Now you can see automatically there is a space, right? And you can say print hello Rajat. Again I hit enter. If 10 greater than 1, again indentation mark, again enter. So this space is different here. is space is different here. This is indentation. Okay, just keep in mind, it's very important when you are doing coding. Sometimes it is very confusing for people, and these kind of things actually hit so many errors in real world when you're working for different company. Okay, so don't go into this situation that you are feeling that these kind of errors are happening, because these are very basic thing. So you can make sure from this video onwards that you will make sure syntax is correct, indentation is correct, and the right comment, which is the next point. So if you come here, if you see, comment is nothing. Comment is basically a commentary, as the keyword also say. It's a commentary to make yourself aware when you are using your code next time, what the changes you have done, or maybe for some other programmer, what are the changes you have done, which the other coder need to make sure before they are entering some value into your code, or they are changing their code. So basically this is nothing. This is just to highlight to the other programmer or yourself that these are the changes I did in this code, or whether this code belong to some specific area, and how I do that. Basically, if you see, comments are used to explain code ignored during execution. In execution, they will not be compiled, or basically they will not be counted as a part of the code. They will be simply printed. If you see, so single line comment can start with this. You can write, for example, this is the code. Let's go back here. So this is a code. You can put a comment like hash and this value written by Rajat on 13th Jan. So now whenever you will open this code next month also, you will have this comment here, and this will not disturb your code. Similarly, there is one more way. You can use the comments also this way. This is a second way basically to write single quotes and quotes like this. If you see in this example, this is a single line one. Okay, single line, and multi-line is double quotes, and in between whatever you are writing, the content, the body, that is considered as a comment. Let me show it to you quickly. I put an enter here. So whatever the text you will give in between of this, okay, that will be considered as a comment. So this is about the comment. Okay, now mandatory details. Use comment to explain why code is written. Okay, not just what it does, why it is written. ताकि आपका जो programmer रहे, they should know that how exactly things are working. Keep comment concise and relevant. Don't make it so much lengthy and ambiguous. Well commented code is a best practice in professional programming, in specifically offices. When you are working in different companies, different offices, you should always make sure that you are putting right comment. Okay, this is very important. So on this note, I'm going to wrap up this video. So 3 things we have learned, very basic and very coding thing stuff we have done in this video. See, number 1 is syntax, right indentation, and right way to put the comment so that anybody can read and reuse your code. Okay. On that note, if you find this video helpful, please hit like and put comment whether you like it or not. If you have some suggestion for me, you can put it in the comment section. I read all the comments. And if you like the video, please share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're coming for the very first time. All the best, guys. I'll see you in the next lecture with again some hands-on Python codes, and then we'll go on the journey of Python. Thank you. All the best.